everybody, Artosis here, casting some CasterMuse Star League Season number 4. This is from Group F in the round of 24, and it is on the map Eclipse. In the top right, we have a very strong Zerg player. Underrated, I would say, in StarCraft 1, and honestly, he was in StarCraft 2 as well. In StarCraft 2, he was a DreamHack champion and a really strong player there also. It's Sacsri, ex-SKT1 member. And in the bottom left, also from the former same team, JYJ. This Terran player is definitely one of the big up-and-comers that we're looking to as the next generation of Terrans to kind of take over the mantle to be possible champions. Everyone's been talking about JYJ for a few years now. He's had some fantastic matches here and there, but not the stability required to become like a complete, normal, fan favorite, top of the tournament type guy. But his best games are absolutely immaculate. So looking at this match, who is favored? I really feel like it can go either way. I generally think of Sacsri as a kind of brainy, aggressive type of Zerg player in Zerg versus Terran. Generally, he'll come up with something quite intelligent, and generally he tends to lean on you, right? You don't really expect him to just sit back and play a big macro game, although, of course, he's not bad at that at all. JYJ, I generally tend to think of as a more technical Terran versus Zerg player. Not always going SK Terran, but mixing in some more mech builds, some more 1-1-1s, those types of things. So when those two face, I think it might come down a lot to what openers are they actually going for, because they might mind game each other a little bit. Well, we will see about that. Looks like JYJ going to go for a wall to open up. Obviously, this is not like Zergling tight or anything, but it makes it very small, so Zerglings can't really attack you very easily. There's a lot of reasons that you do a wall like this. It basically makes it so you just don't need a bunker early on. You don't need a bunker at all at your natural, in fact, which is very, very helpful because there are a lot of situations where, in fact, you do need to make that bunker. He's making a second depot here. Yeah, and so basically, Zerglings can't fit here, they can't fit in between here, and they can't fit here. So this is the only hole, and a single Marine can block. Obviously, drones can drill out via mineral walk. But yeah, the drone that just came down from Sacsri, delaying this command center a little bit, forcing him to make the second depot. Kind of a nice move from Sacsri, who, by the way, looks like he is going to be going into some 2-hatch play. Yeah, look at that, the 3-minute layer exactly, right on time here, sending his scouting drone home. Of course, JYJ going to be on the lookout for Zerglings being made, but considering the wall he made, I think he knows that there's going to be maximum of 4 Zerglings produced. Yeah, and in fact, that's exactly what we see here. 4 Zerglings coming out of Sacsri. You don't really need more than that. The 4 can scout the map, they can chase the SCV, they can block additional scouting, and all that. And you know that your opponent is not going to be moving out anytime soon. And you can't really do any damage either. So a little bit of scouting going on here from JYJ, sending some Marines around, seeing where that Overlord is. It is a little bit meta where you fly the Overlord in. Sometimes Marines can run out and zap it. And look at this, JYJ with a proxy factory. This is part of the reason why he's gone for the wall. With the wall, you can't really tell what's going on because Terran doesn't have to play as safely in the very early game against Zerglings. You can be hiding a factory behind it. You can be going quick engineering bay. You can be going for a second barracks. There's all sorts of things you can do when you know that you're not going to die. But look at this. Those 4 lings, so important. He scouts this SCV building the factory, and it gets canceled when it's almost finished. I can't tell you how big a deal that is. The fact that Sacsri has located that, first off, all of the potential damage that JYJ wanted to get is gone, right? He made this look, and in fact, I assumed until I saw it started up here that this was going to be a bio-based play. Normally, you don't get a gas after command center against 2 hatchery. So he was playing a little bit sneakily, and I'm sure he really wanted to get some damage done with the Vulture and slow Sacsri down. That's gone. But not only that, he has no tech, right? He wanted to have a starport just about done right now. Just to put this in perspective, the starport would be finishing in a few seconds here. So instead, his factory is just finishing. He's going to have to load up on turrets with basically no options. That was a great find from Sacsri, and really punishing the risk that JYJ took here. So Sacsri is just going to be popping out 6 mutas as quickly as possible. I think that's a fantastic play. Has 5 making at the moment. We'll be seeing a 6 pop here. And there it is. You really do, in a situation like this, you force the factory to go away. You do want to put on as much pressure as possible with the Mutalisks, because you want to force them into a defensive stance. And we know that that's going to occur. Like, JYJ has to start throwing down turrets very, 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 very soon. All right, here they are. They're starting up. 2 here at the natural. He does have a little bit of bio here. He's trying to kind of figure out what's going on. But here's the problem, right? You wanted that advantage early on from the Vulture, from the starport getting up quickly, and he is going towards Valkyrie. But he has to make a lot of turrets, right? He needs to defend this area, this area, this area, and this area. That is a lot of places to defend, and that's like at least 6 turrets, I would say, that he has to make. And that makes it a little bit brutal. You see Sacsri is going to be doing some harassment. He's taken a 3rd base during all of this. This is a great location for it. Very easily defendable. And he's going directly into lurkers. So the lurker's going to help him to stop any bio from trying to run him over or anything like that. And it's especially important because there's a Valkyrie on the way. And Valkyries absolutely shred Mutalisks. So when those Valkyries start popping out and he's got the bio with it, you'll be able to push the Mutalisks around very easily. But with lurkers out, the Valkyries don't really do all that much. There's some nice harassment there. Does try to get the repair down, but can't quite save the turret. We'll push the mutas out. The mutas are just buying time at this point, making sure that he's built his turrets and everything. Some more turrets going up. Second Valkyrie is on the way. But again, Sacsri right now, he's about to have lurkers. Like, the lurker aspect is almost done. He's starting to pop the Hydras out. And when he has lurkers in each position, what are you going to do with Marine Medic Valkyrie? What are those units going to do other than chase off the mutas? You're not going to be able to bust the natural. There's going to be lurkers there. You're not going to be able to go up a ramp. There's going to be lurkers there and a sunken, it looks like. Very solid play here from Sacsri. And don't forget, a lot of this is just on the back of finding that factory. All right, the mutas coming down. You realize that this is the one point of contention here. It seems like JYJ is starting to make his way over. Obviously, you want to try to hit before lurkers. He scans. He sees that the lurkers are making. Where are those mutas? They've run away. He's judged that he actually has enough here to hold, and he's definitely right about that. These two are about to finish. Before that bio can get up the ramp, all you have to do is bro those, and this attack is over. You cannot break this with Marine Medic. It will not occur, especially with the 3rd lurker. But he's going to get whatever damage done that he can. Trying to take out this Overlord. Can just poke around with the Valkyries. The Valkyries are still a little bit useful. They aren't super useful. You see he's coming in right now. He has some Scourge in here, seeing if he can pick off a Valkyrie. But anything you can get done with these is pretty helpful at the moment. Let's see what JYJ's next plan is here. Adding some more barracks. So he's going up to 5 barracks. He actually has 3 Valkyries. He might try to really hunt Overlords a little bit later with that, or maybe use them to just fly them around and make sure that the Mutalisks are completely a non-issue. Again, they still have some use to them. I don't want to say that they're completely useless. It's just they don't help you right now. Defiler Mound is coming up right now for Sacsri. Does have that Carapace upgrade going as well. He's a little bit behind on that, of course, based on the way the game has gone. Lurkers just kind of being in some defensive spots. The next part of this game should be, well, obviously you're getting the Defilers out, but you want to try to secure a 4th gas here as Sacsri. That's really the important thing that you're looking for, because once you get that 4th gas out, you can get into ultras with your Defilers, with your lurkers, and that's where Terran starts to have a very, very tough time. But right now, all we see for Sacsri basically is that he is completely safe. Now, JYJ he's really shown us his intentions. 6 barracks before adding a 3rd command center. So he doesn't have any plans to get a 3rd command center anytime soon. Ooh, we see some nice micro here of the Valkyries while I'm trying to talk about that. Ooh. Loses 2 of them to the Scourge. So unable to really bully up here as much as he was looking for. Trying to utilize that awesome Valkyrie micro to knock out all the air and then maybe pick off a bunch of Overlords. But that's not going to work out for him this game. It rarely does. But yeah, like we were talking about before, the fact that he's gone for 6 barracks means that this is going to be endless pressure from JYJ. He really wants to just basically prevent the 3rd base, or the 4th base, sorry, from Sacsri, and try to bust if he can. Now, realistically, when Zerg is on 3 bases like this and hasn't taken any damage, you're just never going to bust them after they're a certain level of player. They're just going to have their defilers ready, and they have enough gas to kind of make them almost infinitely. So Consume is done. JYJ continues onwards with his upgrades. He has 2-1 on the way, really solid. +1 carapace is about to finish here for Sacsri. He's going to continue with that. He's actually going for the Ultralisk Den, which is like, okay, I guess you can get the upgrades. I don't think he can afford the Ultras right now. Maybe if something goes wrong for JYJ, that's something you can start to spend money on. But if you try to make the Ultras too early, sometimes your gas will kind of run short and they can irradiate all your defilers and break through. See, he is focusing on those defilers. Very, very important to reduce their numbers. You have to basically force Zerg into, you know, making them over and over and over. So it looks like JYJ trying to get his additional base up. He is containing every location right now. So decides that, you know, it is time to try to take this 3rd. But the Mute is coming in harassing a little bit. It's got to send some bio up to block. More vessels being created, sent out on the map. And he's actually sending the science facility as well. This kind of shows, again, what his plans are this game. The fact that he's flying the science facility out shows us he doesn't want vessel energy, and he doesn't want battle cruisers. So that's definitely something I'm a little bit surprised by. I feel like battle cruisers might be very useful. Not right now, but in a few minutes when he gets his 3rd gas up. All right, a Plague goes down. Kind of misses. A good split there from JYJ. Moving more units through the center of the map. So Mute is flying home right now. You can see this is some anti-drop type of setup that you see for Sacsri here. He's got the Scourge, he's got the Lurkers, some Lings, bringing the Mutas back as well. That is one thing you have to look out for. A lot of aggressive Terrans want to try to drop in there and do some damage if you're out of position. So some more Dark Storms coming down, forcing him back. JYJ retreating, getting his 3rd base up and mining. Very solid play from JYJ after a tough opener this game. But let's not forget, right? Like, Sacsri is not doing poorly. I know it kind of looks funny because he's sitting here on much less supply, 165 against about 100 almost. But that doesn't really tell the story. Zerg is basically unkillable with defilers if they have 70 supply. So I hear you definitely can't be killed right now. Some good irradiates coming down. He is hunting him, pushing forward, throwing down these Dark Swarms, just trying to regain a bunch of the ground that JYJ is containing on, right? He needs to break this more open because with JYJ standing here and standing here, he's basically blocking drones from coming out to get additional bases. And that is a big problem. You need to get that 4th base up as Zerg. Other than that, all you can really do is grind down your opponent with a lot of plagues. It's like the only other way for them to gain that value. All right, a couple bunkers up, so really being careful about possible counterattacks. Still on the double science or science vessel production. He does have his 3rd gas up, so he definitely needs a 3rd starport or something else he wants to spend gas on, whether that's a switch into siege tanks or, you know, like I said before, BCs are always a cool play. Some Ultras coming out now. Let's see if this is actually going to do anything. They actually do have that 4 carapace, so they can fight pretty well against these Marines. The Radiated one bringing a lot of damage, and between the Dark Swarms, the Plagues, and the Ultras, he does break through this big force. JYJ has some units still out on the map, but honestly, all those are going to get cleaned up as well. Ooh, Sacsri picking off some of the plagued vessels. A huge move with those leftover Mutalisks. Reducing that vessel count, so valuable for him right now. Now, this is a moment when your opponent starts running on with Ultras, you really need to join up your army as Terran. You cannot walk around with smaller groups because the Ultras will just decimate them. But you also need to make sure that you're irradiating all of the Defilers because they're going to plague big groups and really get a lot of value there. So here we go, a couple high energy Defilers. Uh-oh, there's going to be some plagues. There's going to be some Dark Storms. Look at that. Dark Storm goes down. Double plague, and this army is going to get shredded. He's irradiating Ultralisks, but they're just going to run through these damaged Marines then. Oh my God, so much falling right now. JYJ with very little left over. He has got to retreat. The Ultras, though, getting down to low health. Let's not forget, there's no fourth gas yet for Sacsri. So even though he's making a lot of great moves and reducing the supply here of JYJ, he doesn't have that critical fourth gas, which will overwhelm completely. All right, nice little attack coming up here into the third base. He does have that double bunker, so that's going to slow these Ultras down quite a bit. The rest of his army going to come up and try to kill them off, but they will escape. Good choice there by Sacsri to run out, to save his Ultras so he can continue to build them. You can't be wasting Ultras, again, when you're on so few gas. Another one kind of comes out into the middle of nowhere. And finally, he does have that additional hatchery going up at the fourth base. He has a couple lurkers here to slow down Bio from breaking through. A lot of vessels. Uh-oh, some Scourge coming for him right now. Snaps two of the vessel necks. Hurts another one. And he's getting some good irradiates on these. Not really targeting down the Ultras all that quickly, though. And you can see these smaller armies of JYJ having a difficult time. These smaller groups. Like, the thing is, he's trying to keep a lot of pressure on Sacsri. He's trying to trade as efficiently as he can before that fourth gas does kick in. And he has those 3-2 upgrades, but he just kind of needs a bigger army. If you have 3 groups of Marines and maybe 8 medics with that, you're going to trade a lot better against some of these Ultralist groups. But as you see, he's being very highly aggressive, irradiating everything he can. And these are very small armies that Sacsri is running around with trying to battle. Throws down another Dark Storm, of course. Ultra's already hard to kill. Impossible under that Dark Storm. Just going to throw some irradiates on him. Ooh, he comes in and aggroes as the Scourge fly, and Sacsri reducing that vessel count massively. How many? Only 3 vessels left over. He has really killed a lot of them this game so far, but all of those Ultras do fall. He is keeping up non-stop on the vessel production. He's got that third gas, so not hard at all for him to spend on that. All right, a Defiler caught out here. He's going to get the kill on that. 2 more Defilers coming with Mass Ling. You can see Sacsri's gas is very low right now. Again, he does not have that additional gas, so this is what JYJ was kind of looking for. Ooh, getting stuck there, though, with the Lings. Some great Defiler casting going down. Dark Swarm will pick off a bunch of those Marines. Ooh, another nice Plague as well, but Sacsri going to pull back for now. More units coming up. A lot of Lurkers, a lot of Lings. Still just producing Defilers as quickly as possible. JYJ actually banking quite a bit of gas at this point. It's hard to actually end up spending all of your gas when you're on 3 geysers with only 2 starports, so that's going to be kind of natural at this point. All right, comes out. Ooh, beautiful Radiate on that Defiler. I gotta tell you, JYJ got into a bad position. I was gonna say put himself into it, but really was Sacsri scouting the factory, but he's fought back really nice in these tough spots. Now, a Lurker Ultra attack coming up towards the 4th base that JYJ has just landed, but I think he has enough Marines to hold this off. Ooh, brings him back into the Lurker spines right there. More Lings, more Ultras. Uh-oh, JYJ needs to bring up more units here if he's going to hold a nice defense matrix on that Marine. Is that going to be enough, though, with the amount of Lings coming in? Another stemmed group coming up. The Lings starting to target here a little bit. He lifts that command center so it doesn't get picked off as quickly as it can. But there are just endless slings coming up from Sacsri right now, bringing in another Defiler as well. A lot of vessels still out here for JYJ, but is that going to be enough? Single Hydra, knock down some of these buildings. I like it. Oh, this is just turning into such a messy game. Oh, a beautiful plague there as well, getting a bunch of those vessels. In fact, you can see immediately after plaguing the vessels, he creates 2 Mutalisks. Mutalisks not very useful right now, except to pick off these damaged vessels. That's going to be a very nice moment for him where he can end up killing, it looks like, 4 more. So Sacsri trying to take another base. He does have this gas up and running. But don't forget, this is so late at this point, he's actually running out of gas. See, he's depleted his main. Right around 21 minutes, you're going to end up depleting the natural as well. So... yeah, it's like JYJ is still in it, but Sacsri he's looking terrifying. All right, comes up and gets some good irradiates off, gets all those defilers irradiated. Oh, some more ultras come up. This is a very small army. This is not going to be able to fight that well against these, but if he brings up a few more units, definitely will be able to clean them up. It's actually rallying out of all of his hatches at this point. JYJ, let's not forget, right? He's got not that much mining going on. His main, his natural, empty. Third base, still pretty healthy on minerals. He's having a hard time getting a full army together, though. Look at the supplies as they get closer. Sacsri here, under 100 supply, but he's dropped JYJ as well. So that becomes better and better for him, especially with the Defiler Ultra combo. The one thing that really can fight back are these irradiates. So let's see where he can get them off again. Trying to split these up. Another beautiful plague. And don't forget, we have 2 mutas on the map. So those can come over and help clean these up eventually. Where did those mutas go? Here they are. They're waiting for their moment. They're biding their time. Gonna help kill off the science facility here with that single Hydralisk that was made for this job. Ooh, the vessel's flying up right now. Okay, he's going to irradiate them. I like that play to irradiate the vessels, or the mutas rather, even though they're not valuable as units right now. You know what they've been made for. You know they intend to kill your vessels off. Ooh, an eraser up here too. Forcing those drones to run away. And he's going to catch some of them. Wow, JYJ really pulling this game together right now. But hold on, this is a lot of ultras. JYJ could be in some trouble here with the Defiler coming up. Oh, a Muta comes in, but gets targeted down. Most of these vessels in the deep red. Down comes the Dark Swarm. Has to pull back. Sacsri really not mining all that much himself right now. This is really a crazy game. Continuing to throw down those Defiler spells. And look at this. He is setting up this base. This base could be a game winner for Sacsri if he actually gets it going. Just so many resources in the top left of the clips. Okay, some more irradiates going down. But the actual army sizes of JYJ are getting frighteningly small. Right? Like, he is producing very little right now. What does he actually have for a standing army? About 12 bio units and then a bunch of vessels. And that's not enough to muscle through here. So the 4th base going to be taken over. It's going to be hard to retake that. Uh-oh. With the Defiler here, he's about to have enough energy for a Dark Swarm. And he throws that Dark Swarm down. A Firebat going to chase him in and kill off the Defiler. But how are you going to kill this one Ultra? No Firebats in these bunkers. So that Ultra going to be able to go to town and take this out. We see he does have drones up here right now. That has to be the #1 priority for JYJ. He's already erasered the drones up here. He's taken away a lot of that economy, but he needs to stop this one. This is a double gas base. It's so powerful to have the top left of the map. Let's see, he's coming up right now. See what comes out of that Nidus to protect. Just Zerglings so far, but it's not a very big army here. Oh, a single Ultra is going to help out here a lot as well. Nice D-Matrix goes down. That Marine tanking all the sunken shots and a bunch of Ling shots right now as well, but it will be powered through and only a few Marines left over. Oh, a Muta coming down and finally getting that expensive glaive bounce, and JYJ gonna give it up. GG. Sacsri wins the game.